The Nintendo Switch is praised to be one of the best generations ever. From Zelda Tears of the Kingdom to insert favourite game here. Mine is Luigi's Mansion 3. It's been a good generation, and through the generation I've done two things. I've kissed its little Switch behind, and I've said goodbye. But I haven't done one thing. I haven't beat the crap out of it. Welcome back to the Moment Game. On today's moment, we brushed off all the happiness, all the positivity, and we're going to look at this little thing with disgust, rage. I played about 4 hours of 1-2 Switch, and I'm finally ready to rage at the Switch. But before we begin, remember to like and subscribe for future members and toss a click down below to support the channel. And with that out of the way, let's start with the biggest disappointment or worst moment of the Switch, depending on who you're asking, depending how I do the title. Oh no, sorry, wrong script. The cardboard Lego, the secret way of teaching kids about IKEA.
How's that coolant coming along? IKEA doesn't assemble itself, you know.
You're telling me.
Was maybe the weirdest thing of the whole Nintendo Switch generation. And no, I was not saying this was a mistake. Because of this, the Switch 2 era will feel a lot more innovative. There are some big YouTubers talking about that Switch mouse thing, what will probably be used for games like WarioWare and 4-3 Switch. And things like this weird little mouse becoming the Joy-Cons will keep the Switch 2 exciting. You'll never know what really will come out. Keeping the kind of Switch 2 going from what we usually get, the console being so different each generation, be gone from U to number 2. But it's something like the mouse Joy-Cons that will keep the Switch 2 exciting.
You like guacamole?
Loba.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Nintendo Labo.
I'm gonna butcher that name through the whole video. Was kind of a mess generally from the start, and not just the name.
And there's wheels.
And it kind of develops a theme through this video with Nintendo. Nintendo makes something kind of fun and exciting. Oh look, I can make a piano. And then they kind of forget they're making it. The lifespan of Nintendo Labo, whatever it's called, was around 2ish years, give or take, as they released Game Garage Pack, technically didn't release with any cardboard, so the last thing they released was kind of VR back in 2019. That means it was released in 2018 with the Variety Pack and Robo Kit, and then the final release was in 2019, and that makes all 4 kits. Put the knife in the metaphorical cardboard chest of the Loba. I know these were made for children, and when they released I was 20, when I felt like this. But now I feel more like this. Nintendo dropped this quicker than my life bar in Dark Souls, and when I look at something like this, it's something no other game company is doing, or will kind of ever do. Can't do.
You fucking child.
That is Nintendo for you. I think Nintendo dropped the ball here by not supporting it more.
Nah, I don't feel like playing.
The fact that Nintendo, the biggest mascot company in the gaming world, didn't have a mascot for this is criminal, and they have enough of them from Mario to a squid. Obviously hindsight is 2020, but I think a little mascot around this Labor, whatever, could have done wonders for the whole cardboard thing, and I think it should have been this guy. R.O.B. Rob, the only robot Nintendo needs. No, not you, Chibbity Roba. God, this video is butchering names. Instead of choosing between the Variety Pack,
variety comes in packs of 8, but which one to have often leaves me in a state.
and the robot,
That'll be $50.
$50 for what?
you get a sort of Ring Fit kind of base pack, even though the Ring Fit is another missed opportunity by the Switch that we will get to. Instead of all this crap what we only build once and use once,
Smooch like you're kissing your sister.
we get to build Rob, and through we can do different stuff with the Loba, but around Rob. This gives a faceless cardboard and exciting twist. I don't know how it'll work, I'm not the IKEA god, but I'm thinking you get the same stuff like the robot stuff at first, but you play as Rob, and then the Variety Pack would release alongside an actual Rob game maybe. It's sort of a beat-em-up platformer with a hyper focus on puzzles, and you actually get to put a game in the Switch and play it. The Labo could be used with the game to solve puzzles. I just think Labo needed a bigger chance than it did. Make it more of a powerhouse in the system of the generation of the Switch. It could be similar to that Gym Dragon mascot for Ring Fit. And talking of Ring Fit, I could make a whole segment on Ring Fit, but it feels like it was great for a while. But Nintendo does these things. It makes these great things and then it dies too quickly. Everything from Animal Crossing to Ring Fit. Nintendo isn't the greatest at supporting their games after launch. What kind of... Unless your name ends with Rio.
Dad, no! You're gonna strangle a baby!
Oh my god.
Let's go.
The Joy-Cons to me have been maybe one of the biggest disappointments in the Switch generation. Calm down, Nintendo hardcores. I love them, but still, they're a bit like this.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing it really, really well.
They do a good job at being what they are, but what they are should be more. It should be more like this.
Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Now bring it down hard.
It should be a hybrid between the Wii and the Switch remote. In my older video talking about all the things I want for the Switch 2, I did go into fully detail about this, so I will leave that link below or above or wherever it is. But the Switch Joy-Cons are so close to being able to be more. The fact I can't make my Joy-Con into a crossbow annoys me to my core. I want to feel like this, goddammit. Instead of this. And now they're making these into the mouse into the second generation of Switch. Why can't they just make it more Wiified? I want the Wiified Switch remote. I know you can do it if you make some cardboard and show what these can do with just cardboard. Imagine if you actually make a game around these, like a good one. What isn't just 1-2 Switch or WarioWare. There are others that fell into the annoying category. The Ring Fit, a great exercise thing that got nothing apart from that one game. At least give me a sports game around it. Even though it was a good gym for the house, it just felt maybe there could have been more games around it, more focus around it. And this theme of feeling like Nintendo gives up too early jumps over to the games like a virus. Unless your catchphrase doesn't rhyme with let's do. Even though there are many games out there that don't get much support, I'm still waiting on that Spider-Man 2 DLC. Think I've came to peace with it now.
I'm okay with this.
But less on my internal conflict. There are hardly any Nintendo games that really have any DLC. Look at Zelda games. Fire Emblem got breadcrumbs, but the main culprit that could hit another level with DLC is the fact that Animal Crossing only got 2 years to support its complete turnips. It's crazy the amount of stuff they could have added to this. I'm not an Animal Crossing person, okay?
I think you got her.
However, I know for 100% fact there are stuff from the crappy little mobile game that didn't make it to the main game. Animal Crossing New Horizons should have been on the level of Sims. Yeah, I said it. At least way closer to the next game. It's been 3 years since the last update, and that's crazy. It feels like if they supported it longer, more people would have bought the game, more people would have bought the DLC, expanding the game to new heights. New horizons, some would say. This was a weird trend in the Switch generation, and it definitely missed a lot of opportunities. Basically what I'm saying, support more of your games apart from the people who partake in the wacky fungi. But even Mario isn't safe in this video. Mario sports games. I skipped most of them on the DS, but then we came down to the Switch era of Mario sports games, and it felt like Mario sports games went from this to, well, kind of the crap of the Switch generation. When I think at Nintendo Switch's sports games around Mario, the really only good thing I can think of is Mario Golf Rush. Mario Strikers Battle League, the game I was most excited for, turned out to be the worst thing possible. Maybe the most bare bones game released by Nintendo with that Mario IP. Mario and Sonic Olympics was okay. I loved that old school mixed with the new school kind of stuff, the pixel art kind of thing. It was exciting. And then Mario Tennis was very middle of the road. It was okay, but like all these games, it failed to innovate that feeling of Nintendo Mario sports games. I do hope this changes in the future and they do take a lot of criticism from the failed kind of sports games we've had this generation. I think maybe the big way they should do this is kind of not be Mario anymore. Make Nintendo Tennis, make an actual name, make Nintendo Sports with the characters from Nintendo. Make it like Smash Bros, have all Nintendo characters under their umbrella and just change it up a lot. Goddamn, fix the campaigns in all these games. The gameplay was always okay, but it was the content that lacked, and it's one of the biggest mistakes of the Nintendo Switch. As they did this for the whole generation, it might have soured the taste of a lot of sports games for the next generation. Kind of a weird one, as I have mentioned it in past videos, and I do hope it's one of them things what do improve in the Switch 2, and surely would be the focus due to how much feedback they had from it, would be Switch Online. I'm not a big online person. I play a game now and again up against a random person, kick the living crap out of him. I don't need a name, I just need blood of my enemies. But some people just want to play with their friends, and Nintendo made that difficult. They had that weird DLC pack thing and just made it difficult to use, even though it was cheap and had some retro stuff, what was good. I have no clue where the focus was there. It felt like they just threw everything at the wall and see it would stick, and the online fell to the bottom of that wall. And it is really one of the biggest mistakes of the Switch generation, what probably will be one of the biggest focuses of the next. At least get it perfect the first time. Then another big mistake would be the little lid thing on this, what I can never open, and I've mentioned this multiple times in different videos because I can't open it, and it's the worst thing on the Switch, easily. I can't open it. I can't put a new game in here. I do have a theory, what's on the other video, what I do suggest to take out to have a look at. Well, I'm not going to go into here. I hate this thing. I've got no nails. I can't get in it. Just can't get in it. Now that's the honorable mentions out the way, we are on to the last one. It's easy looking at the big three IPs that Nintendo has, the golden gooses of IPs. Xbox has kind of buried all theirs and PlayStation's just forgotten about them. However, Nintendo made their biggest mistake with the Nintendo Switch era with the IPs. They didn't make any new ones. They adapted what they already had. Zelda had some fun this generation. Well, it actually had a lot of fun with Warriors and putting Zelda as the main character in a game. Kirby finally went 3D. A lot of IPs evolved with the Switch, and it felt like the Switch grew with these IPs. Weirdly, there's a big but here. Nintendo didn't really create any new IPs this generation. In the space the Switch is around, Xbox actually kind of did better with creating new IPs with like Sea of Thieves, and PlayStation had Ghost of Tsushima in the same lifespan as the Switch. And then throwing my hat in here because I don't know when the best time would be to create a new IP, but I'm going to say that creating new IPs in maybe the most hottest time in company history with the Switch was probably a good idea. I might be wrong, there might be a reason why we didn't, even though we are going into another spicy anticipated Nintendo generation with the Switch 2, 8-ish years with really no new IPs. Even the Wii U got Splatoon, but the Switch really didn't establish anything new. Instead, it reintroduced these games to gamers and felt like the Switch could have done both. Even though the Switch 2 will be a massive hit, you heard it here first, I don't remember when a massive console generation like the Wii, the PS4, the Xbox 360 had a bigger generation than next generation. Making the Switch 1, that's actually kind of weird to say, as we're going to have to start calling that soon. Anyway, the best time to introduce these new IPs. An easy example would be an exclusive horror game for Nintendo, what would probably bring massive sales because it's lacking on the Switch. This could have been established on the Switch. They made an online focused game for the Wii U. There's just a lot of possibilities of introducing a new IP on a generation that was that hyped, that focused, that innovative, just that exciting. They're going to try, but it doesn't feel like lightning doesn't strike twice. That's all I'm trying to say. Lightning doesn't strike twice, so the best time to introduce new IPs would have been at the highest point. I'm not saying the Switch 2 will not have high points, I'm just saying that it might not hit the highest points of the Switch 1. Still weird to say, but that's just my kind of theory. And I just want a horror game in the Nintendo universe that isn't part of the Mario universe, even though I do love Luigi. Also, they could have brought back some other games. Kid Icarus, come on. Please, I want Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus, not Ked Icarus, Kid Icarus. That game, I want it back on Switch. I hopefully it'll come to the next one, but it has been a very weird 8 years with the Switch. If you want to check out the more Switch videos, I've made a playlist that should be around here. Remember to comment below your worst moment of the Switch, as it has been a wild ride full of amazing moments, but there has some been worse moments. It's been 8 years, and it's Nintendo. They make big decisions, and they're also weird, and it's great. But that's it for this Mumble. Comment below your thoughts, like and subscribe for future Mumbles, and I will see you on the next Mumble.